want to push buttons. I want this to be an introduction to something that's confessional. From now on, when I talk about things that maybe push people's buttons, I'm going to make sure that I use my I statements. And I'm gonna talk from a place of human vulnerability. If I say something that is a political point of view or philosophical point of view about society or whatever, I'm gonna try to make sure that I'm not saying, well, these people this and those people that. I don't know those people. I know myself. I'm gonna be honest and I'm gonna say what I feel. And so I was just explaining to Spencer backstage that a dear friend of mine, who I'll give their anonymity because the people that are passionate about things should. It's just like it's this conversation I'm having with this person who keeps recommending this Jordan Peterson guy. Like, you got to listen to Jordan Peterson, and I keep going like yeah, I will. I mean, by the way, I haven't seen Atlanta yet. It's on season 9. So when I don't bother to do something, it's not. I don't think it's because I'm stubborn or doing something. However, I do keep saying to the person, like, I'm gonna listen to him because you say he's smart, he's interesting, and all this stuff. But I will tell you that every link you send me and every time I Google, it keeps saying, like, it says from his fans, and God knows people's fans can misrepresent them unintentionally. They can.
How do you know that, Dan?
But it does say things like truth bomb. Jordan Peterson debunks the concept of white privilege, disproves the pay gap, blah blah blah. And then I say that back to the person, and then that person always says, like, they go, no, it's not about the politics, and that's not the point. I just think he's really interesting. But there's always it's like I never get a what why is he a plumber? What is he like? What do you mean? Because the headline is that he debunked the concept of white privilege. Did he also tell you how to install a backsplash in your kitchen? But the reason I bring it up is not to. I certainly want this person to continue to. I like people to share. Like, if you're into somebody, we bonded early on. We love our Noam Chomsky. Like who knows if he's fallen in and out of fashion? But some people.
Noam Chomsky's actually here tonight.
So some people could turn red in the face when you mention his name. Some people roll their eyes automatically. Some people are very familiar with him and will do either of those things. Some people not familiar at all and will do those things. Like you and I started a friendship talking about, because I knew him as a linguist and you knew him as a political dissident, and then we exchanged things and all these things. So I don't want anybody to ever be afraid that they're going to suggest I read something or listen to something because I'm going to like snootily high road them. I brought it up because it's caused me to do some soul searching here, because I'm explaining to the person, and it taught me some things about myself that I want to get off my chest, which is like this. It's like it's like, oh, you got like I am not ashamed of the idea of what my detractors would call virtue signaling. I or white knighting or whatever kind of code for that stuff. I don't understand unless you want to challenge society and change it, or go to toe with it, or get paid to talk about it. Why would you want to do anything other than make it not kill you? I do, like the therapist saying, do you want to be happy or do you want to be right? Like, I want to be happy. So like, isn't that what virtue signaling is? Isn't it? So like, if you're 45, white, straight, rich, standing on top of a pile of money, why is it a betrayal? Why is it a bad move to shout down to all the poor people that you can hear you? I'm going to do everything I can to help you. Don't set this on fire. I'm on top of it. I like you and would like this to continue the way it is. I like.
But shouldn't they be concerned that the money is just in a pile? Like, that seems like
Of course it's in a pile.
That brings up an interesting point,
Yes.
which is that also you want to say, like, I actually don't think this is the ideal situation.
Right.
I'm going to try even harder to achieve some changes because, boy, I can see your house from here, and it's very small. People think that it's somehow a counter argument to say to that, you're just saying what you think people want to hear so that you don't get beaten up or suffer. When did that become a valid point of view? Like, are we revolutionaries when we like tell the truth? Is this about knowing the truth? Like, do I want to really go home tonight and crack a book if I have a choice between two books and one says Femalesbian, how women are treated unfairly and have been since the dawn of humankind, *, notice we didn't say mankind because fuck men. And then the other book is like, The Big Lie, how liberalism is no different from Nazis and why Nazism isn't that bad anyway.
Which I still
I don't want to read either book.
I still have that. I still have that one for sale on Amazon right now. If you want to.
I told you not to self-publish. I told you.
I try. Wait,
you're going to end up spending more than you make.
You're being a real feminine capital Nazi right now.
But I'm gonna if I'm on a sinking ship and I'm like, I got one book for the next 10 years, I'm gonna. Not because I'm so fucking noble and open-minded. I'm gonna take the feminist book because it's gonna have more information that I don't already have and don't suffer from. I'm kind of like, I don't.
Dan, just read my book. Just give it a chance.
I don't want to know. I don't want to be able to. I don't want to be in a conversation. What conversation am I ever gonna have in the future where I'm going to be thinking, boy, oh boy, this would go so much better, as bad as it's going. God, it would go better if I just had the academic chops to prove that maternity leave is unfair. God damn it, I don't have the fucking noodle for it. I do have the noodle for it. That's the problem. Whether I believe it passionately or not, what I don't have in my head is the reasons why people be talking about other stuff, and I want people to like me.
Say that again.
I don't.
Where do you stand on Building 7?
What is the least popular opinion? Spencer said something really funny when we were talking about because I'll listen. I'm going to listen to the Jordan Peterson thing, but you were talking about the naturalist thing when you're going like some of this stuff is like people say you got to listen to this guy. And then you listen to the guy, and it's like, oh, he's so smart. And it's like they got a PhD, and they're like, oh, man, they gave a lecture, and it was so amazing the way they broke it down. And, like, a lot of it comes down to, like, naturalism tropes where it's like, hey, people aren't naturally monogamous, or the way humans work isn't like this or that. And it's like, and I said, yeah, but people don't poop in toilets naturally. Like, we just kind of came to agree.
Toilets are great.
And you said, yeah, and it's Spencer's summation of the naturalist fallacy is like, hey man, ducks don't be gay.
That's the fallacy. People say, the naturalization fallacy is ducks don't be gay.
I didn't service it in the retelling.
It's that people say, oh, this isn't natural, therefore it's bad, and then they say like, oh. Like an argument against gay marriage or whatever. It's like being gay is unnatural. It's like ducks aren't gay in the wild, animals aren't gay, and then of course animals are gay in the wild. But that it's a fallacy that people make to prove their point when they can. But a fallacy is an invalid argument by nature. Anyway, I do a lot of research. I love it. I'm online all the time. checking things, reading things. Who knows if they're good or bad? I don't know. It's the internet. But basically everything that I understand about Jordan Peterson just comes down to that fallacy. It's like, well, actually, it turns out like lobsters like kill each other, and so like it's fine to want to kill each other, or like it's just all that fallacy where it's just like, well, no, that's not true.
And then
do you have anything else? And
sometimes
the answer
he's
is no.
giving one of those talks, and if somebody just starts from the audience going like, "Hey, I like your wife. I want to fuck your wife." And he's like, sorry, excuse me. Like, he wouldn't have security escort that person out, right? Because he doesn't believe in marriage, and he'd be happy if he is married to have a stronger person with a louder voice that felt like talking at that moment. Like, microphones aren't fucking cavemen. But I'm not lampooning this person because I don't want to commit the crime of like making you've maybe read or heard him. I've
done research.
I'm just riffing on the idea of like the people that go like, monogamy is not a thing like in 58 countries and stuff. It's like, yeah, man, when did you ever get the impression that humanity like wanted to be natural? Like how is that our gimmick? Like what? I'm just so confounded by it, and I kind of like maybe I wasn't confounded by it 6 years ago. I mean, I know if you listen to this podcast, you're going to hear me take complete 180s on a lot of fundamental stuff, and I'm not going to chalk it up to turbulent times or anything changing. I'm gonna first and foremost say I'm old. I'm thank God successful. I just